Hawk City, the wait is over. Let's welcome them as they take the field, your 2023 Staten Island FerryHawks.
Yes, I did. So I packed it up and brought it back to the crib. Just a little something, show you how we live. Everybody want it, but it ain't that serious. That's that. So if you gon' do it just like this. Did you realize that you are a champion? You don't see just how wild the crowd is. You don't see just how fly my style is. I don't see why.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we get set to honor our nation with the singing of the national anthem. Performing for us tonight is Charles Malbar.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the whole of the brave. Thank you.
Frankie the FerryHawk has cleared tonight's umps for duty using our Hawks iView eye chart sponsored by Williams Eyewear. Not seeing every pitch clearly? Visit Williams Eyewear, your neighborhood optical shop serving Staten Island since 1985.
My name is Robert Russo, joined in the booth by Nick Foster as the Staten Island FerryHawks set to take on the Lexington Counterclocks in Game 3 of this 3-game set here at home. Nick, how are you feeling on this day's matchup?
Feeling pretty good. It'll be, for the FerryHawks, I believe, second game of this series third game of the series between them and the Lexington Counterclocks. The guy I'm looking at tonight is Ricardo Cespedes, who made his return and went 4 for 4. This team desperately missed that spark that he provides to the lineup, that excitement that he brings to this team, and he'll look to keep it rolling tonight.
Absolutely, going 4 for 4 from the plate last night. Unfortunately, the FerryHawks dropping that one. Had some bullpen issues as the game continued on, unable to get out of a bases-loaded jam late in the game. Some questionable calls.
Leading off for Lexington, the center fielder, number 12,
but nonetheless, the Counterclocks able to get their way back into the game and come out with a win in the second game of this set, which started on the 4th of July. But now we head to the mound, and taking on the first batter, the leadoff man, Ronnie Dawson, for the Counterclocks. It's Nick Beardsley on the mound for the FerryHawks.
Just to piggyback off of what you said, that blown lead last night, that's really been a story for this FerryHawks team this year. They've struggled to hold on to leads. The pitching staff has struggled. And we see that tonight with the starter, Nick Beardsley, who is 12.27 ERA on the season. No wins for him, no losses also, so he'll look to pick up his first win of the year. It's a 1-2 count right now to Dawson.
And here's the deal. 1-2 pitch hit into left field. Pugh settling under it, and he'll make the grab for the first out. That'll bring up the second batter of the day, Connor Owings, the third baseman for the Counterclocks.
Nice
Now
job by
batting the third
Beardsley there. He's
baseman,
throwing
number
strikes
4,
in that
Connor
at-bat.
Owings,
Had a
number 4.
2-strike count. Dawson took a nice swing, took a couple big swings in that at-bat, and then Pugh made the nice play in left field. It's very sunny in the outfield tonight. It's pretty hot here on Staten Island. Beautiful day to come out and watch some FerryHawks baseball.
Definitely, as the stands start to fill up as this game gets underway, and there's strike one down the middle on the first pitch. The big key for the FerryHawks is definitely going to be just getting their starting pitchers to go as long as they possibly can in these games, especially with the rule in the Atlantic League that if your pitcher does not go for a full 5 innings, they take over that designated hitter spot, which can bite you in the back later on in games, especially in competitive ones, close ones, down to the wire. So you really want to make sure that that pitcher can get all the way out through those first 5. And especially for a team like the FerryHawks, it's more than important as that one bounces its way foul for a second strike to Owings.
Not only that, but you don't want to put a lot of these relievers this year, because the pitchers haven't been able to go 5 innings, have been put in these high leverage situations, and you want to keep as many bullpen guys out of high leverage situations as possible, and that's why we see a lot of these inflated ERAs on the roster.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's definitely been some struggles on the managing end for the pitchers coming out of the bullpen, and a lot of those blown leads, I think, can go down to that fact as the 2-2 pitch is hit well. Mikey Edelman out in right field is going to settle under that one for the second out.
So now 2
batting the
flyouts
first
this inning for
baseman, number
Beardsley,
23,
1 to left, 1
Thomas
to
Dillard,
right, and we're
number
talking
23.
about, you know, him going the full 5 innings tonight, and to do that he has to keep the pitch count down, and he's done a pretty nice job of doing that so far. He's worked quickly, and he hasn't really struggled to find the strike zone and throw strikes.
And the first pitch, well inside. Thomas Dillard, the first baseman, up to bat for Lexington. The 1-0 finds the opposite corner of the strike zone. That's going to be strike 1, 1-1 count. And the 1-1 fouled away high down the third base line and away into the seats. So 1-2 down to their final strike here in the inning. Staten Island looking to get out of this one cleanly and set up their hitters, and they'll do so successfully. Down looking goes Dillard. 1, 2, 3, and we'll head to the bottom of the first.
Welcome to Health Wish. On today's episode,
But that path that I took in order to get back showed me that you have to trust the process. And and no one's going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. If you cannot believe in yourself, you're not going to go far at all. If you can't look in that mirror and say, I believe in you, and you're going to make it, it's never going to happen for you at all. And even when you feel at your last, bit of hope and you find it hard to even look in that mirror and love yourself, still do it, because you never know. You never know. You have to be your biggest fan first, and then everybody else will follow suit.
So it's all because of your generosity. But the funny thing is that usually people reach out because of, the care they received, or they're a patient, and you don't have that background. So I want to know what fueled your generosity.
So I'm very fortunate. Giving back is definitely a core element in my lifestyle, and part of our mission statement here at the restaurant.
give it a listen.
Born out of the tragedy of September 11th, 2001, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families with mortgage-free homes when they need it most. Join us in our mission to do good and never forget.
Leading off for the FerryHawks, the center fielder number 2, Ricardo Cespedes.
Return to play here in the bottom of the first inning. FerryHawks up to bat the first time this game. It's Ricardo Cespedes back to back. Looking to keep a nice streak of hits going. 4 for 4, perfect from the plate yesterday, and a walk in 1 of 5 at bats as well as he swings through the first pitch. Next pitch to Cespedes, fouled away down the third baseline.
Cespedes, a guy who finds his way on base quite frequently. The FerryHawks have him plugged in the leadoff spot, and for good reason.
Batting now over 300 once again after yesterday's perfect spot. He was a touch below, now back over that 300 threshold at 307. 3 homers on the year and 17 RBIs as well. The 0-2 deal, a swing and a miss. So Cespedes goes down hard for the first out of the inning.
Next up, the left fielder, number 4, Brandon Pugh.
Heading up to the plate, a speedy guy. We saw it yesterday, a guy that loves to steal bags, a guy that Homer Bush definitely loves to manage. He is a great hitter in his own right, batting just under 300 as well. 2 homers, 11 RBIs on the year. As he will check the first pitch, be outside a bit for a ball. And he's a bit of a newer FerryHawk as well, joining the team recently in recent months, and has fit right into that 2 spot in the lineup, as that one just a bit too low for Pugh. He'll take that one for ball 2.
FerryHawks have a really nice 1-2 punch in the front of the lineup. You have Cespedes, a guy who gets on base, and then Pugh, also a guy who can hit for average, but Pugh, as you mentioned, extremely speedy, and it makes for a really deadly combo.
Absolutely. As he steps back into the box, it's a 2-1 count to Pugh. And really, since the addition of Angel Aguilar there in that 3 spot, it's become, as that one is knocked out deep into center field. Under it is Dawson. He'll make the play. For the second out of the inning, a nice ball.
Next up, your shortstop, number 6, Angel Aguilar.
For the second spot hitter for the FerryHawks, now up to bat, Angel Aguilar, the guy who I was just mentioning. It's really more of a 1-2-3 punch, as you got 3 guys batting approximately 300 at that top of the lineup position, and then allowed to be cleaned up, usually by Rodani Baldwin, who has the day off today. Today, it'll be Kevin Krause, as that one is cracked, foul down the third base line.
That ball was smoked by Aguilar. He liked what he saw from the pitcher. Just was a tad bit too early on that ball. If he was held back just a little later, could have been crushed.
And he's already made his impact known since his return to the team after last season. FerryHawks reacquiring him for this season's campaign. He was their leadoff guy last year. Recorded the most hits on the team in their inaugural season. The 1-1 pitch, fouled away just off the hands. 1-2.
Pitch was really in on the hands. We've seen the FerryHawks hitters really swing the bat this inning, taking big swings, trying to make big contact. Hasn't worked so far. Aguilar finds himself in a 2-strike count. FerryHawks danger and going down 1-2-3.
Here's the deal. Far outside on that right corner. Trying to get him to chase a little bit on that one. No dice there. 2-2 count. 2 outs. And nobody on for Angel Aguilar. This pitch is hammered once again down the third baseline, and once again foul. He gets a lot more of that one than he did on the first pitch, but just can't keep it in fair territory.
As you mentioned, yeah, once again, that one, as you said, also smoked, and, you know, that gets a little bit frustrating for the hitter at the plate. You just got to hold back a little bit more, a little too quick with the bat right now.
We'll see if he can keep it in play. He'll foul that one back as he tries to readjust that timing. A bit too late on that one. Doesn't quite get
That's a lot of damage.
Back into the stands.
Yeah, timing's just a bit all over the place for Aguilar right now.
So a 2-2 count remains off the foul ball. Here's the pitch. And he'll look to the first base umpire. They say he didn't swing on the check. So a 3-2 count now loaded all the way up for Aguilar.
Nice job to hold back on the swing. He's been early on some pitches, but he's put together a nice at-bat. We'll see if he can get on base in a 3-2 count.
Here's the pitch. Puts that one in play right to short. And the toss over to first in time, 6-3 to close out the inning. No runs scored, no men on.
Hey, baseball fans, looking for some entertainment that hits it out of the park? Look no further than Binks Entertainment. Their talented team of entertainers will keep your event exciting and engaging. From DJs to interactive games, we've got everything you need to create a home run event. Contact Binks Entertainment today to learn more. Want to spend your birthday here in Hawk City? Head to the guest services booth located on the concourse behind Section 10 to talk to a sales rep for packages and more info. FerryHawk birthdays are sponsored by Friendly's. Friendly's, creating memories since 1935. Hawk City, now we have a message from our friends over at NYC Smoke Free.
Menthol is not just a flavor. It's a way to attract and addict us. Tobacco companies use it to make products smoother and better tasting, so they're easier to start and harder to quit. And there's nothing just about it. Take action at notjustmenthol.org.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop it for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it.
Top of the second inning as we return to play. JC Encarnacion up to bat.
Now batting the right fielder, number
Counterclocks.
13,
He
JC
hit a rocket
Encarnacion,
of a home
number
run
13.
yesterday. Knocked right into the scoreboard, in fact. And was making plenty of plays out there in left field, showing off the glove, flashing the leather plenty of times throughout that one. Made a lot of impressive plays as well. As he takes that one for the ball.
Things rolling after a 1-2-3 top the first.
That one is hit well, and that'll drop in for a base hit into left field. So first hit of the day for the Counterclocks. As
Now batting the catcher, number 14,
first
Logan Brown,
to the infield,
number 14.
but he'll stay on first base and bring up the catcher for the team, Logan Brown.
In a little bit of trouble right now. We saw Encarnacion getting a little cute over there at first base. He's definitely going to be moving in this at-bat.
As that one is dribbled into the infield, there's one. The throw to first, not going to be in time. So the Hawks will pick up one. Encarnacion out on the slide into second, but they can't pick the first guy off at first
Now
base.
batting the left fielder, number
So Brown
15, Hector Roa.
stays
number
where
15.
he is.
Aguilar with a nice heads-up play at short to get the out at second. A real guy that I thought was going to be dangerous in Encarnacion, so that makes this inning a little easier now with one away and the double play ball in play for Beardsley.
Hector Roa takes the first pitch. That's a ball just a bit high off the strike zone. Beardsley Eyeing down Brown on first as he deals, and this one is popped high into the infield, under it, and making the catch is Garrett Cooper for the second out of the inning. Brings up the
Now batting
designated
the designated hitter,
Gelfi.
number 5, Mitch Gelfi, number 5.
Mitch Gelfi had the night off yesterday. He plays catcher for the Counterclocks as well. Designated hitting today. He pinch hit late in yesterday's game to no avail. Looking to make some magic happen here early on. With a man on first, trying to get the Counterclocks on the board. Beardsley deals inside. One-0 pitch. Rocked well into left field. That one's going to bounce off the wall. The throw from Pugh to the cutoff man. Holds the runner at third. So 2 men on now in scoring position. It's a double for Mitch Gelfi.
Now batting
Nice
the
job
second
by
baseman,
Pugh to
number
cut
2.
off that ball and left. That could have been trouble if he didn't get
Brent
over there
Broussard,
quickly. And then the
number
relay
2.
throw did a nice job to hold this Lexington team to no runs. Beardsley's getting some help from the guys behind him this inning, but he's got to pitch well here against Broussard.
So Brant Broussard now up to the plate. 2 men in scoring position to send home 2 outs. Not much room for him to make any errors as he'll watch the first pitch head through for a ball.
Beardsley's not going to give him much to hit with first base open here. Base knock will drive in 2.
And Beardsley hitting that same spot, trying to get Broussard to swing just over that right corner of the plate, but doesn't get any traction on it. 2-0. And that one looked a little high. So a 3-0 now.
Really trying to work around this hitter. He's just missing the zone. It's a 3-0 count with 2 away. We'll see what happens on this pitch.
And he will walk him on 4 consecutive balls.
All just because
But I wouldn't give
my pants.
Beardsley too much of a problem with that one. That was a pretty solid 4 pitches. They weren't too far outside. I think that 3rd pitch definitely could have been called a strike, as well as that 4th one. So he made it competitive, but didn't get too much help from the umpire behind home plate.
And you know what? That's exactly the way I expected him to pitch with first base open. But now there's bases loaded with 2 away, so definitely in trouble. Bright side is he's got 2 outs, only needs 1.
So Beardsley just trying to work out of the mess he's made for himself. Up to bat now, the shortstop, Josue Huma. And he will crack that one to first. And stepping on the bag is Matt Winokur to close the inning. Getting out of trouble is Beardsley.
Richmond County
a
Savings
0-0
Bank is a
game
division of
stays the same.
Flag Star Bank and proud to be the official bank sponsor of the Staten Island FerryHawks. Bank conveniently with 24-hour access to online banking, mobile banking, and banking by phone. And there are over 160 branches throughout New York and New Jersey, so you can bank anywhere you see New York Community Bank. Visit them at mynycb.com. And now, Hawk City, it's time to beat that beat up and rock out with the FerryHawks for our fist pump dance cam.
Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know,
Hawk City, let's keep it going for the hometown kid, the designated hitter number 8, Kevin Kraus.
Kevin Kraus up to bat for Staten Island to open up this inning. And he will see the first one sail by for strike 1.
FerryHawks still looking for their first base runner of the game.
As that one is knocked well into center field. Settling under it is Dawson. An easy play for him, a pop fly out to center field.
Next up, the second baseman, number 10,
Garrett
Kuber.
All going down. Be the second baseman, Garrett Kuber, now on to hit.
First pitch down low. And the second one in there for a strike. 1-1 count. That one chopped into the infield from third to first. The throw is in time for the second out.
Kuber showing some hustle down the line. That pitch was in on the hands, really inside pitch. It was a little dribbler and a
Next
nice
up, the third baseman, number 27, Davidson Romero.
Davidson Romero now will hit third baseman.
First one finds its way down low. And the next one just grazes the plate for strike 1. Romero sees that one all the way through. That one is popped high into the outfield. And the final out recorded by Ronnie Dawson makes the play to close out the
Real
inning.
Estate
Still
has been
scoreless
selling
here
residential
from Hawk
homes
City.
and commercial property on Staten Island since 1956, making them the oldest independent real estate firm on Staten Island. Their hands-on team approach means that they treat your real estate transaction as if it were their own, personally, professionally, and with over a half-century of know-how. In today's competitive real estate market, you should accept no less from your broker. Hawk City, are you watching these pitchers and you're like, I could totally do that? Well, prove it. Head over to the new speed pitch located by the Hamilton Avenue gate behind the Killsborough Brewing tent, and let's see what you got. Or don't, if you're scared or whatever. Nerd. Hawk City, it's time to go nuts. Don't forget to stop by Isn't That Nuts for the freshest candied nuts you'll ever have. The explosion of flavors will leave you wanting more, located behind Section 6 on the concourse.
Talking to you, girl. It's a new world. Hey.
Leading off for Lexington, the center fielder, number 12, Ronnie Dawson, number 12.
Back in action here from Hawk City for the top of the third inning. First pitch flies by for a ball. It's Ronnie Dawson at the plate, back at the top of the order. Two-0 count, make it 3-0. Ball high and away outside.
Show me your moves.
He into some trouble last inning. Was able to find his way out of it. Keep it scoreless. He got a lot of help from the guys behind him. However, it's a walk to the first batter.
Now batting the third baseman,
So
number 4, Connor Owings, number 4.
To last inning. He's going to have a guy on first with none out.
It's Connor Owings up to bat now, the third baseman.
You know, words aren't always easy.
Yeah, we struggle sometimes up here in the booth. So 1-0 count to Connor Owings. And he fouls that one away.
Ouch! No!
It's 1-1 now to Owings, the man on first. Dawson walked on 4 straight pitches.
Finish him.
Now he has a 1-2 count to Owings. Here's the pitch. That one gets away from DeCunto. He'll track it down, but not in time for Dawson, as he will head over to second base to get into scoring position for the rest of the top of the order. Owings has a chance to send him home now, as well as Dillard. 2-2. That one put into play. And the toss to first is in time from Garrett Kuber.
Now batting the first baseman,
Dawson
number
will
23,
make his way over
Thomas
to
Dillard,
third on that
number
sacrifice
23.
play. So 1 out now. Runner on third. And the top of the order continues as Tom Dillard, the first baseman, steps up to play.
Nice job to get the first out of the inning. However, the runner did advance to third base. Something to watch out for. A sac fly will bring in the first run of the game for Lexington.
And we see that as Dillard gets a nice long swing at that one. Skies it foul. But in a 1-out situation, the sac fly to get that run home. Nobody else on, not a bad idea. He'll watch that one. Head into the opposite batter's box. Kunto able to stay in front of it. Get a ball nonetheless. And that one breaks the bat. And the throw over to first in time.
That's a lot of damage.
A shattered bat on that one.
Now batting the right
From
fielder,
Dillard.
number 13, J.C. Encarnacion.
But a
number
slow-moving ball will keep Dawson on third. So no more sacrifice opportunities for the counterclocks. As now, Encarnacion, a hot hand and a hot hitter for the counterclocks, looks to drive this run in. He'll watch the first one go, touches the outside corner for a strike.
Huber, just a smart heads-up play to make sure he looks at the catcher, make sure that a fast guy in Dawson isn't breaking for home on a slow roller. Got the out. Now there's 2 away, so that eliminates the chance for the sac fly. But as you mentioned, a hot hitter at the plate wouldn't be the worst to maybe pitch around them a little bit here.
A lot of power on this bat. As he watches another one go, that one a bit low outside. Ball 2. That one fouled away for strike 2. Down the first base line and out of the ballpark.
Just late on that pitch. So we're all knotted up here at 2-2.
Another one just a bit too late on. And he fouls that one off in a similar spot.
Encarnacion isn't going to go down easy. He's fouled off the last 2 pitches, looking for the put away.
And they will say that he got it. Strike 3. And Beardsley survives unscathed again, heading into the bottom of the 3rd. We return for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still a 0-0 game here from Hawk City. Bottom of the lineup for the FerryHawks. Number 18, Matt Winokur, playing first base today in the 9-hole. Now ahead 1-0 in the count. And he'll take that one right down the middle off speed.
Not only have the FerryHawks not scored a run yet this game, they're also still looking for their first hit and their first base runner. 1, 2, 3 during the bottom of the 1st and the bottom of the 2nd. Winokur trying to turn that around here. Takes a big swing and a miss at the 3rd pitch, the at-bat, so it'll be 1-2.
The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away high and out of the ballpark. So Winokur stays alive for another at-bat. And here's the pitch. Well outside, ball 2.
Winokur trying to battle back. Fell behind 1-2. Now he's evened it up here at 2-2. Back at Rob's face. That pitch. This is, you know what's crazy? I don't think I've ever heard about this happening before. This is the second time that this has happened to me now, where the balls almost come back into the mound.
I was not paying attention there. I'm gonna be honest, and that one just cracked the window in front of us.
Did it actually crack it?
No, it didn't crack it, but it hit it pretty hard. That was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. I look up and I see a ball in my face. Luckily for us, it's a pretty hot day. We have the window closed.
We were talking about opening the window before.
Yeah, that would have hurt pretty bad. Not gonna lie to you. But back on the field, Winokur works a walk on a pretty solid at-bat, fouls a few off and almost hits us, but I'll let it slide as he heads into first base and brings up Mikey Edelman.
I just can't believe that this is the second time that that's happened to me. You know who else that happened to? And it actually hit him?
John Sterling. Just a couple weeks ago, he had his window open. He wasn't as fortunate as us, but nonetheless, we head back to the field. A little shaken up, but undeterred from the broadcast booth. Strike one to Mikey Edelman. He swings through it. So now a man on first.
And you and I were talking about Edelman before the game, a guy that we both like. He hustles, he works hard.
Absolutely, and he had the night off yesterday. He was the designated pinch runner, but didn't get into the game.
He's in a nice spot here with one on and none out. However, he's fallen behind 0-2.
Now looking for the first out. Can't quite get it. Slider far into the outside box. So 1-2. And here's the deal. And he'll get him for a strike. And down goes Edelman looking for the first out.
That's the second strikeout of the game for this pitcher.
And now Angelo DeCunto up to bat for the FerryHawks, catching today. Family in attendance. Staten Island's very own. As he fouls the first one away. So he goes down 0-1. For those of you just joining us, it is still a 0-0 game between the Counterclocks and the FerryHawks. Bottom of the third. One out from a Mikey Edelman strikeout down looking. And a man on first, Matt Winokur, who is there on a base on balls. Now it's 2-2.
Angelo's in a 2-2 count, trying to take advantage of the leadoff walk.
And he will take one outside.
You saw some bigger swings from this top of the order. However, from the bottom of the order, we're seeing much more controlled, calm ABs. They're putting together nice at-bats here in the bottom of the third.
As the 2-1 comes in and is fouled away to tie up this count. The 2-2 pitch. He doesn't bite. Loads up the count at 3-2.
Real nice eye there. Another 3-2 count this inning. Pitcher's going to step off, take a look at first, and use the rosin bag. He's been looking to the rosin bag a lot this inning. Seems a little bit frustrated after the 1-2-3 bottom of the first and bottom of the second. A little bit of struggles here in the bottom of the third. It's a 3-2 pitch.
Is put into play. It's a double play ball. There's one. The throw to first is in time, and that'll do it for the FerryHawks. Double play gets them down, and we'll head to the top of the fourth, still scoreless from Hawk City. We return here for the top of the fourth inning from Hawk City, as that one is skied into the seats along the third base line. It's Logan Brown at the plate now, down 1-0 in the count, make it 1-1. Pitch inside.
Reached on the fielder's choice his last time up.
And he will poke that one away into the backstop. Just gets a piece of it for strike two.
Turned out to be a key fielder's choice, in my opinion, because he kept a speedy guy and a hot guy that we've kept talking about in Encarnacion at a scoring position when that could have been real danger.
Oh, as another one absolutely rocketed out of the stadium, clear of the upper deck. And a 1-2 count. This one hit center field. On the run is Cespedes. He'll take it one hop off the wall, throwing it in. And Logan Brown will be in for a double cutoff in the center by Angel Aguilar. A deep shot, probably 380 feet out into the center field wall. Good play by Cespedes, tracks it off the wall, tosses it in, holds it at a double. But in scoring position now, brings up Hector Roa out of left field. And he will take the first one in for a strike.
Roa's now got a man in scoring position with none away here in the top of the fourth. Neither team has scored. Lexington has a good opportunity to strike first. However, we've seen Beardsley work out of some trouble throughout this entire game, so we'll see if he can do it again.
As he is buckled by that pitch, swings all the way around, and now goes down 2 strikes.
This is an important inning for Beardsley because it's important that he doesn't run into trouble here so that he can go through the full 5 innings, as we've mentioned, and keep the DH in play for the FerryHawks.
Definitely, and if it's a guy like Kevin Krause, it's definitely someone that you want to keep in play. He hit a 3-run bomb to put the FerryHawks up, as that one is chopped to short, tossed to first. Will be more than enough to get the runner, but advancing is Brown. So we got a man on third now. And as I was saying, Kevin Krause, a guy you want to keep in this game, a 3-run homer deep into left field yesterday, put the FerryHawks on top 4-3. Unfortunately, they would lose that lead late in the game due to some bullpen struggles, but definitely an exciting moment here from Community Park. And that one bobbled by DeCunto.
Lexington's had some real nice opportunities to score throughout this game. They had a man on third last inning in the same situation with one away. They had a runner on third, couldn't take advantage. They also had second and third back in the top of the second. So they've struggled to take advantage of these opportunities. Little dribbler. Play will be made at first base. Hold the runner over at third, so now 2 out.
Good hustle there by Kuber. Out of position, runs it all the way down to first and makes sure to keep eye contact all the way across the diamond with Logan Brown. Make sure he doesn't try and make a move off of third base. Now it's 2 outs. Brings up Brant Broussard with Gelfie out. That one hit very well. Will it go foul? No, it will not, but under it is Pugh nonetheless. He'll make the play for the final out, and they will strand one on third, still scoreless through 4. Ricardo Cespedes up to bat for the FerryHawks, trying to get on base and record the first hit for the Hawks in this game. Still hitless through 3. And he'll take that one low in the dirt. So a 1-0 count to the leadoff man, Cespedes. He'll watch one sail through. Hard, four-seamer.
Cespedes, a guy we mentioned was hot coming into this game, was looking for a big hit in his first at-bat, took a big swing and a miss to strike out. Watches that pitch go by, it'll be 2-1.
And looking to get on base once again. Struck out in his first at-bat, as you said. But looking to get back to winning ways. The Hawks' offense was dominant in their trip to Long Island in the previous series as Cespedes goes down, swinging once again. Bringing up Brandon Pugh. They dominated, putting up double-digit runs in multiple games throughout that series out in Long Island. Trying to bring that back home here to Community Park. Unable to do so in the first two against the Counterclocks, trying to salvage one game out of this three-game set.
And for Cespedes, now 2 straight strikeouts for him tonight.
Yeah, unlucky for him. As once again, gassed down the middle by Brady Fagel on the mound for Lexington. And the Hawks need to build some momentum here as they go back-to-back in this one. After this series concludes tonight, we will have another series beginning right after this one, still at home. As that one outside for a ball.
That one will be against the Charleston Dirty Birds. They'll get set for a 3-game weekend series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And that one put into play, chopped to third, the play to first in time for the out. 2 down. Brings up number 6, Angel Aguilar. Once again, trying to put a hit on the board.
Notable to mention, it was a pitching change for Lexington, which is interesting given that we were only in the 4th inning of a 0-0 ball game, so we'll see how that comes into effect with the DH for them.
As this one is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Angel Aguilar, the first hit of the game for Staten Island. And Hawk City looking to build on a 2-out rally here with Kevin Krause up to the plate.
And the first hit of the game by Aguilar was smoked off of the bat into left field, made real nice contact.
Yeah, that one just loops its way in.
And was it him in the back in the first inning, was it, or was it just him in general who had those 2 really hard hit balls that both went foul? I think that was him.
Yes, he just has a lot of power on that bat and in that frame. Low center of gravity, puts that one hard into play every time he makes contact. And he does so there. Kevin Krause down. 0-1 in the count. 2 outs, 1 man on first. As that one fouled away out of the ballpark.
I know Krause is behind in the at-bat, and I know that there's 2 outs, but this is a situation that I like. Kevin Krause, a solid DH, a solid hitter, and a guy that I like on the base pads in Angel Aguilar. It's a solid recipe for a 2-out rally, possibly.
Oh-2. Outside, and the tag attempt unsuccessful on Aguilar back at first base. So 1-2 count to Kevin Krause, Staten Island native, Tomville High School's very own. Batting .280 this season. 5 homers, including the one yesterday. 27 RBIs. Runner goes. That one put into play, and it'll get past third into left field. Rounding into third is Aguilar. The throw will not be in time. He's safe at third. And Krause is in at first. We got runners in the corners. 2 outs And Garrett Kuber coming up to the plate.
So, what did I tell you? It's a situation that I liked, a hitter that I like in Kevin Krause, and a base runner that I like in Angel Aguilar. So what does manager Homer Bush do? He puts on a hit and run. Kevin Krause with the base hit, and then Aguilar was going over towards second already. So thanks to the hit and run, uses his speed. He's able to advance to third. Just a beautifully executed hit and run with, as you mentioned, Garrett Kuber coming up to hit. FerryHawks with a nice chance to score the first run of the ballgame.
A scoreless tie through 3 2/3 as Kuber swings through that one for strike one.
And Kuber was trying to tie the game up with that swing, but really, he just got to settle in at the plate and focus. He doesn't need to take a big swing. He's got runners on first and third, 2 base hits in the inning. Base hit gives the FerryHawks the lead.
And once again, going to swing through it. Might have made a little contact there, but it finds the back of the glove of Logan Brown. Down 0-2 in the count now. Final strike of the inning for the FerryHawks, perhaps. Aguilar eager to find home as that one. High and away, looking for the chase. Doesn't quite get it. It's ball one.
Wouldn't be surprised if the pitcher goes back to the breaking ball with 2 strike. Kuber's taking some big swings.
And here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. Down goes Kuber. So 2 men stranded in the corners. It's going to be 0-0 heading into the top of the 5th. First pitch at the top of the 5th will escape the glove of Angelo DeCunto, but it's right down the middle for strike one. Next pitch he sees is going to go high into the outfield. Under it is Pugh. Tracks it down and makes the play for the first out.
Flying out there was the shortstop Jose Huma. So it'll be Ronnie Dawson, the center fielder, walked and stole a base his last time up. Was able to advance to third. However, Lexington couldn't take advantage of the leadoff walk.
So 1 out as he takes one upstairs for ball one. Nick Beardsley once again doing a great job throughout this one. 3 hits, no runs, been able to work himself out of the messes he's put himself in as a hard swing meets no leather.
And now he's just 1 inning away from keeping the DH in play for the FerryHawks.
As that one dribbles down the first base line, the flip over to Beardsley for the second out.
And you know what? This is real nice to see from Beardsley because it's been a rarity this season to see a FerryHawks pitcher go this distance without giving up a run. He's just been able to, you know, put a little bit of a fresh air into this stadium tonight and give the FerryHawks 4 solid innings, and we'll hope that he can give us 4 more.
Calm, cool, and collected is Beardsley. Don't want to jinx him too much, but he is pitching very well so far. Now a 1-0 count. Back as that one is outside for a ball. Owings watches that one find its way inside. It's ball 3.
That pitch scared me a little bit outside of the hands. It looked like if it slipped or something. It just didn't look right.
But Tecunto able to see it cleanly, make the catch. And this one fouled away hard into the netting. Two-two count. Here's the pitch. Fouled away once again into the backstop. Keeps him alive in the at-bat. 2 outs as the sun shimmers, reflecting off of the Freedom Tower across the water onto the ballpark.
It's a beautiful view.
There isn't one better, as that one fouled out of the stadium.
It's been very hot the last couple nights here on Staten Island, but it's just a beautiful night here at the ballpark, and FerryHawk fans are coming out to watch the FerryHawks in the conclusion of this 3-game series against Lexington. Here's the 3-2 pitch.
And that one a bit too low, which will get Owings over to first and bring up Tom Dillard. And as you said, yeah, some pretty hot days this week in Staten Island and the city in general. Pretty humid as well. Not the best conditions out there, but as the sun begins to set, especially in these late afternoon, early evening games, the breeze off the water, it's perfect conditions for baseball. As that one just can't find any plate. It's ball 1, 2 outs. Owings on first.
FerryHawks tried to put together a 2-out rally in the top of the 4th. The bottom of the 4th, my apologies, to no avail. We'll see in the top of the 5th if Lexington can try to, they're going to try to attempt to put together their own 2-out rally. Tongue twister.
1-1. A hard swing through by Dillard. And that one lined down the first base line, but fouled away. A lot of power on that one, just too early.
A guy that we mentioned plenty of times tonight, JC Encarnacion, is on deck. So if Dillard can get on, maybe some trouble for Beardsley here in the top of the 5th.
Keeping his eye on Owings, as that one is knocked high into center field. Under it is Cespedes, who will make the play for the final out of the inning. So no one scores. Once again, the scoreless tie remains. We head into the bottom of the 5th. Davidson Romero up to bat for Staten Island, trying to get on base here and touch home for the first run of the entire game. It's been a very solid pitching battle between these two teams, highlighted on the FerryHawks side by Nick Beardsley, number 35, has now gone 5 innings, putting up 3 hits, no runs, as that one sails by for a ball. It's 1-1.
We've got a classic pitchers duel brewing here on this Thursday night.
As the 1-1 finds its way through and in for a strike. And he will let that one go, and in for a strike. Romero has some words with the home plate umpire, but he'll step out of the box. Frustrated about that one, and might have to agree with him there. That one didn't look like it was quite inside enough to call a strike, but nonetheless, he's down looking for the first out.
Pitchers on both sides really rolling.
As Fagel deals. That one's in for a strike.
That was a nice breaking pitch. It had nice movement. It really started outside the plate, was coming towards Winokur, and then it had that really late break into the plate. Nice pitch for strike 1.
And they will say he does not go. Home plate ump checks with third base. On the check swing, it's 1-1. 1 out. Base is clear. Still a 0-0 ball game here in Hawk City. The throw is far off the plate down low. It's ball 2. And Winokur really just needs to put together a nice competitive at-bat here, as he does so, knocking this one deep into left field. Under it, and making the play is Hector Roa for the second out. And bringing up Mikey Edelman.
Even though there's only 2 hits to show for it, I will give the FerryHawks credit for putting the ball in play tonight. Just 3 strikeouts, or make it 4 strikeouts for the FerryHawks. However, they've done a real nice job at putting the ball in play, and eventually at some point in this game that should generate into hits.
Absolutely, it's just a matter of when, and just keeping that ball down, keeping it in play. And then once you have it in play and once you have runners on, driving them home. Because that's something that has really been the Achilles heel of this team outside of the struggles with bullpen and bullpen management, as Edelman takes that one for a strike, has been just the inability to score with runners in scoring positions in most situations. It's really just caused a lot of struggles for this team. We saw it yesterday, bases loaded, no outs, and no runs scored. It's just unacceptable from a professional team like this.
You know, one thing I will say, when we talk about scoring, getting runners home when they are in scoring position, it is a matter of when you get those runners in scoring position. We saw there back in the bottom of the 4th, the FerryHawks didn't get their runners in scoring position until 2 outs, so that makes it incredibly difficult to score. You need to get the runners on when there's 0 outs or 1 out. When there's 2 outs and, you're getting runners in scoring position, it gets real tough to drive those guys home.
Right.
So you got to work on getting the leadoff guy on, and then after the leadoff guy, it can't be, that third batter of the inning getting on and then having to rely on 2-out rallies.
The 0-2. Edelman pops that one high up just outside the infield, under it, and running to make the play. Just misjudged that one a little bit was J.C. Sulbrem, but he'll make the play for the final out of the inning. JC Encarnacion up to bat for Lexington to kick off this 6th inning of action. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. Looking to put some ball on bat action here. As we said yesterday, he had a powerful home run into the scoreboard. Might have caused some dead pixels if he hit it just a little bit harder, as he fouls one hard away down the first base line.
His leadoff single really put Lexington in a good position back in the top of the second. However, they weren't able to take advantage later that inning when he got into scoring position. Or no, I'm sorry. Actually, back in the top of the second, he had reached first base safely with a single, and then it was the fielder's choice. But later they had gotten runners into scoring position, and that's something that you and I have talked about throughout this game, and that's the fact that neither team has really been able to take advantage of runners in scoring position.
And DeCunto doing a very good job playing defense at catcher today, framing those balls pretty well, not getting every call from the umps, but you could definitely notice the effort here. There's been some pretty stubborn officiating between yesterday and today. And now a full count. Stays alive with a foul ball into the netting.
And, you know, based on, you know, the details that you keep giving about Encarnacion and you know, what we saw out of that for second inning leadoff single, fair assessment of this guy is that he's a spark plug for the Lexington offense.
As once again he fouls it away, and you could see him swinging out of his shoes there. He's got a lot of power on that bat, and he's not afraid to use it. He's not afraid to swing on a 3-2 count. Beardsley deals. That one's put into play. Edelman on the run. Can't make the play. He'll take it off the wall. Rounding second. He'll stay where he's at. A nice throw. And they'll call him out at second. What a throw from Edelman into the infield. Angel Aguilar tags him out. Heads up play between the outfield and the infield.
So Encarnacion with a ball that was smoked into right field. He'll be credited with the single, but then he was looking to stretch it for 2, and he was in way safely. And then he was going for 3, and then he realized he wasn't going to get 3, and then he went back to second, and it was just a beautiful throw by Edelman to get the out. That ball also smoked into the gap, or a play will be made. A little overreaction for me. But anyway, Encarnacion, you know, we see that when he took the turn at first back in the top of the second also. Like, he likes to get a little cute, and Edelman took advantage of that and was able to throw him out.
Yeah, Edelman, as we've said so many times, just a hustle player. He knows he can't get it. He readjusts right away to the warning track, gets a bounce off the wall, tosses it in perfectly to the shortstop, Angel Aguilar, who notices the situation right away, and Encarnacion just couldn't turn around, hit the brakes in time to readjust and get back to second. So 2 outs, and the bases stay clear for Beardsley. Some great play by the fielders today.
That was a point I was actually just about to bring up. It's something that I mentioned earlier in the game. Beardsley has done a nice job to work out of a lot of these jams that he's put himself in, but he definitely would not have done it today without the guys behind him who have just made tremendous plays to keep this a scoreless game.
So a 2-1 count to Hector Roa. He'll knock that one high, way behind us and out of the ballpark. Watch your cars.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that.
So 2 outs. Nobody on. Looking to escape the top of the 6th. Once again, as this one dribbles down the third base line. The throw to first.
Nice.
Just in time. What a play there by number 27, Davison Romero. Robs a guy of a single at first off the infield. And that'll close out the top of the 6th. Angelo DeCunto, Staten Island's very own, at the plate, swings hard and misses through the first one. Leading off the inning for the FerryHawks. Still 0-0 through this one. Lexington leading in the hit count 4-2, but neither team has anything to brag about.
Someone almost got hit with the baseball down there, but everybody's all right. DeConto joins, of course, Kevin Krause as the second hometown second Staten Island native in tonight's lineup.
And Cespedes, who's on deck from the Bronx as well. Family in the Dominican Republic, where he spent some time recently where he's been out of the lineup for, I believe, the 3 series
3 weeks
before these ones.
Or 3 series.
Playing for the national team. As DeCunto watches that one sail by, it's ball 1.
DeCunto put together a nice at-bat his first time up, but went sour after a 4-6-3 double play.
A 1-2. That one lined into right field, and it will not be able to stay on the fair side of the foul pole. As we see some fans heading over to try and get that foul ball down there deep in the seats.
Oh, that hit him.
A nasty one there. Hits him right in the hand. DeCunto will take his walk to first.
I think they're going to have the trainer come and check him out, possibly.
Yeah, that was a hard ball thrown. Hit him directly in the hand. We do hope he's all right. I think either way here, we might see the designated.
DeConto doesn't like something that was just said. I wonder if they're going to take him out of the game, possibly.
As he has his family here to cheer him on as well through this one. Trying to shake it off, but that was a fastball right at him. He tried to dodge out of the way, knocks right into that right side hand. As I was saying, perhaps we see the designated pinch runner take over for him on first.
He is able to grip his bat. He just picked it up. Think he might be all right. I'm not the trainer, though, so I will stop making comments on the matter.
Some cheers from the crowd telling him to take the walk. And he'll take the batting gear off, and it looks like he will. Take the walk over to first. Hard fought and well earned.
So this goes back to something that I mentioned before, right? The FerryHawks haven't been able to score with runners in scoring position. We are going to see the pinch runner here, the designated pinch runner. But yeah, this does go back to what I mentioned before. FerryHawks weren't able to take advantage of the runners in scoring position situation with 2 out, but now they get a runner on with none out, and if they get this guy in scoring position, that puts you in ample position to take advantage of that runner.
Ricardo Cespedes back at the plate, got a man on. It's the pinch runner, Jemison. He's got some speed to him as he knocks that one high out of play for strike 1.
A lot of balls coming back our way tonight. None closer than that one that hit the window, but we've had a couple go over our heads.
A few close calls here. It's dangerous work in the broadcast booth. We don't get enough credit sometimes. The 0-1 to Cespedes just grazes that outside corner. 0-2. None out. Jemison on first. Here's the pitch. Outside, he'll take that one for ball 1. 1-2. Inside again, it's going to escape from Brown. And Jemison will round his way into second. So we got a runner in scoring position, no outs. A prime opportunity for the top of the order to send him home. This is a great spot to be in for the FerryHawks. Cespedes in a 2-2 count. But you got Pugh on deck. And Aguilar in the hole. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. He stays alive.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is exactly the situation I'm talking about. Arguably the FerryHawks' best hitter in a great spot with none out and a runner in scoring position, a speedy runner in scoring position. All it takes is a base knock.
Here's the pitch. Popped high into the infield on the move. Who's got it? It's Huma, the shortstop. Adjusts under it to make the catch. A close one. Good effort there by Ricardo Cespedes to stay alive, stay fighting in that at-bat. Steele on the mound. Definitely looking a little frazzled right now.
Yeah.
After hitting the batter. He's able to get one there, and now it's Pugh.
I mean, he almost hit Cespedes in that at-bat. And for Cespedes, after a great performance in his return last night, not the same tonight, 2 strikeouts and a pop-out to short.
As there's a beauty right down the middle to Pugh for strike 1.
However, it's going to be the second man of that three-man that three-man punch that we were talking about earlier between Cespedes, Pugh, and Aguilar. So, yeah, obviously, I gave it away. It's Brandon Pugh. Got 3 good chances to drive in a run. Pugh takes a big swing. Tipped that ball. A little foul behind the plate. So it'll be 0-2.
Jemison feigning the run as that one is chopped into play. Nope, it will just bounce foul before first base.
Pugh donning the baby powder blue cleats to match the jerseys tonight.
As that one is knocked into play. Jemison rounding for home. The throw is not in time. FerryHawks take a 1-0 lead. It's an RBI double for Brandon Pugh.
Just a nice knock by Brandon Pugh there to drive in the runner. It's exactly what the FerryHawks needed, a spark here in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 1-0 FerryHawk lead. It'll be the shortstop, Angel Aguilar, trying to keep things rolling here for the FerryHawks in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on scoring position yet again with 1 away. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1.
So an 0-1 count to Aguilar, 1 out. Top of the order, doing what they needed to do. Brandon Pugh loops that one into left field with more than enough breathing room as Aguilar buckles, trying to avoid a hit by pitch there. Perhaps a bit of an overreaction, didn't look too close to him, but he dodges out of the way. It was definitely a ball inside.
With the way this pitcher's been pitching kind of inside, he's been close to hitting, hitting guys. I'd probably react the same way in the plate right now.
Definitely, and Aguilar stands pretty close as that one is able to drop into the infield. And from the pitcher's mound, the toss to first in time to retire Aguilar, but not before Pugh can get over to third base. So Kevin Krause up to bat here, looking to make it a 2-0 lead for the FerryHawks. Brandon Pugh in scoring position on third base now after that sacrifice play by Aguilar. Not what he wanted, way too late on the pitch, but
not the worst situation.
Definitely not as the runner advances. It was not all in vain. Now Kevin Krause, the opportunity to keep adding to this lead. That one finds its way inside, grazing into the batter's box for ball one.
One-0 pitch. Same spot. Also isn't a strike, so now 2-0 to the hometown kid, Kevin Krause.
Two outs. Pugh on third, the 2-0. That one outside and low. 3-0 count to Krause. We'll see if he takes the green light to swing on this one. And the throw pickoff attempt, not in time. A really good effort there by Logan Brown on the swinging strike by Kevin Krause, as Pugh was taking a very far lead off of third. A millisecond too late for the catcher. So a 3-1 count to Kevin Krause. 2 outs on the inning. That one popped over around first base, and under it to make the play is Thomas Dillard to close the inning, but not before the FerryHawks get on the board. It's a 1-0 ball game here in Hawk City. The FerryHawks with the lead. Top of the 7th inning, FerryHawks with a 1-0 lead after the 6th. And even just that RBI double that sent him home had the crowd rocking in such a quiet game for the Bats and such an efficient game from the mound, as that one is fouled away.
And it's our guy, Nick Beardsley, on for his 7th inning of work. We were talking at the beginning of the game, we were hoping that he would just get 5. Now we're watching him here in the 7th inning, and it's just real nice to see. He's really helped the FerryHawks in this one as he gets the strikeout looking for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, he is rocking and rolling. Scoreless for the counterclocks. through 6 1/3 now. Bringing up Brant Broussard towards the bottom of the lineup in the 8th spot.
Not to get too greedy, but now we hope that Beardsley can work his way through this inning, and then the FerryHawks need some insurance runs so we can keep those bullpen guys out of those high leverage situations.
Absolutely, as that one is skied away foul. A guy that they didn't reach to yesterday, and it was a questionable decision in such a tight game down late, was their star closer in Pedro Payano, as this one is rocked past the mound, past second base, and will dribble to Cespedes in center field for a base hit. Pedro Payano, one of the best pitchers out of the bullpen and a guy that the Hawks reserve for very, very high energy situations. We didn't see him yesterday. Perhaps we'll see him today. But it looks like there's somebody else warming up in the bullpen now. Doesn't look like it's Payano. He's number 7.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they bring a different guy on for the 8th and then Payano on for the 9th. Because when your starter gives you this much length, he's pitching down the 7th inning, you don't need your closer to go, 2 innings, 8-9, unless you're really in trouble.
Absolutely, and a lot of that might also come down now to how the Hawks fare in the bottom of this inning, and we will see if Beardsley can escape another one without anyone touching home plate.
It hasn't been pretty, but it's been efficient.
Absolutely. Double play potential here, as this one is knocked into right field for the second out. Was going to say double play potential there, but no longer, as it was a fly out to 9 for Huma, bringing up Ronnie Dawson at the top of the order now. Broussard on first base, the lone runner on.
This will be Ronnie's 4th time up today. Hasn't done much with the bat, however, he's walked and stolen a base.
And here's the deal. A beauty down the middle. Sinks in for a strike. It's strike 1. A 1 lined past first base into left field. And Edelman showing off the arm there once again. A blast into Cuber. And that'll keep Broussard at second. It's a base hit for the leadoff man, Dawson.
Obviously, the hit isn't a positive, but we're really seeing the importance of defense in this game. We talk about defense in the sense of all right, you make the play, the catching, but just the throwing aspect and the cutting and how well you can cut off the ball and the speed in the outfield and even in the infield is really important in today's baseball. Defense saves runs, as we're going to see Beardsley come out of the game after he's given up a walk and a single.
And some loud applause here from the fans, standing ovation. 6 2/3 from the starter. A great game. No earned runs, 6 hits. Worked himself out of everything he got into. We're going to see a change on the mound.
Sorry, it wasn't a walk and a single. It was 2 singles.
So we'll see the change here for the Hawks.
It'll be as Rob mentioned, it'll be no earned runs for now. Obviously, he's responsible for the runners on first and third.
So Parker Bug on the mound for Staten Island, number 20. as he warms up here. He's got 2 outs. Beardsley did some good work for him. He's got a man on first and a man on second.
So I will say this. Obviously, Homer and Bush and, the FerryHawks pitching coach, we're not planning on putting on Parker Bug in this spot there. We're hoping that they can get the full 7 innings from Beardsley. Instead, they get 6 2/3 from him. So we'll see if Parker Bug's going to go the distance between, getting this out in the 7th, and we'll see how far he can go in the 8th. And, we'll see if they're going to bring in the guy that you mentioned in Pedro Payano.
Well, it looks like a rather light bullpen out in left field for the Hawks right now.
Sun's starting to go away a little bit here.
Clouds covering up part of the skyline. As the sun begins to set, the lights begin to turn on. It's been a quick one here. 8:16 now. Hour 45 into this one. And we're approaching the 7th inning stretch. So some solid pace thanks to the pitch clock and thanks to some solid pitching from both teams. So a 2 men on, 2 out situation for Parker Bug. As that one will drop down low for a ball. So Owings at the plate. Now ahead 1-0 in the count. Here's the pitch. That one going to find its way in for a strike. Nice pitch there. One. DeCunto able to cover that one up. It's a bit low. As he will have a conversation with the pitching coach as well as DeCunto. So a 1-1 count after the discussion. Owings swings and misses at that one. 2-2. And Bug almost out of this one. Final strike. One of the biggest at-bats of the night here, facing the top of the order. Trying to escape this one. Here's the pitch. Knocked well into center field. Pugh and Cespedes both under it. Cespedes there to make the play. Hawks escape once again. It's a 1-0 ball game heading into the 7th inning stretch. Garrett Kuber on the mound, or at the plate, excuse me, for the FerryHawks to open up this bottom of the 7th inning. He'll take strike one. So an 0-1 count to open us up here. And he will chop that one foul down the third base line. Just dribbles across the white line for strike two.
So the FerryHawks now looking for some insurance. They got that 1-0 lead back in the bottom of the 6th. So now they'll look to, something that I've continued to mention throughout the game, they'll look to keep the bullpen out of a high leverage situation here in the 8th and the 9th. We're looking for Pedro Payano maybe to come on in the 9th, but we have to get there first.
Here's the deal. Far outside. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss from Kuber. He goes down swinging hard.
Swinging hard might be an understatement. Really swinging for the fences on that pitch. Thought he liked what he saw. It's a strikeout, though, to start the bottom of the 7th.
Davidson Romero up. Brock Lesnar's theme song there to walk him up. Pretty intimidating, I must say, as the pitch is far into the opposite batter's box. And another one. This one can't find the outside corner once again. It's 2-0. One out so far. FerryHawks with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Looking to close it out, take 1 of 3 in this series as that one's knocked quite high. And finally drops there into the seats. Romero has the 2-1 count. And the deal. Knocked well into left field. And it's going to get over the head of Hector Roa and rounding into second for a double. A beauty of a hit there by Davidson Romero. Finds its way into the wall. And it's a double and a runner in scoring position for Staten Island.
That ball was certainly smoked off of the bat of Romero. Was able to stretch it out for a double, and it was a tough play in left field for Hector Roa. Maybe he didn't see the ball the way the ball was coming at him really quickly. Got a little choppy on the feet, and the ball fell up against the wall for a 1-out double. So a runner in scoring position now for Matt Winokur.
And Winokur, if he can get on base, would be big to try and get this runner home. He's ahead in the count 1-0 now off that one. And he'll watch that one sail in for strike one. Bit off speed there, nice pitch right down the middle. Catches him off guard, doesn't even get a look from him. The 1-1 pitch. And the delivery.
Ooh.
Just hits the top piping of the net behind home plate.
I feel like every ball that gets hit behind the plate is just like gonna come back at us or something.
Yeah, that net definitely saves us a lot of close calls, but didn't stop the one before. Saves us there. Now 1-2. And down looking. Once again goes Winokur.
It's his second strikeout of this inning. So now FerryHawks in danger of losing. They had a nice opportunity to get an insurance run, and now they're in danger of squandering that opportunity. But before they squander that opportunity, Mikey Edelman have a thing or two to say about that.
So 2 outs for the FerryHawks with a man leading off of second base. And Edelman takes strike one.
Pitcher working quickly on the mound. Not wasting too much time trying to attack the speedy Mikey Edelman.
Huber and Winokur both down on strikes for the 2 outs this inning. Now Edelman down 0-2 in the count.
A lot of big swing and misses from this FerryHawk team here in the bottom of the 7th.
At this time, you might just need to understand where you're batting, right? You got a runner in scoring position, ready to go. All you need is a shot into the outfield to get him home, and you're up 2-0, and you could sit a little bit more comfortably. You don't want to be taking big chops like that when you don't have to, as that one escapes the glove of Brown.
Wow.
Really far inside, and Edelman is called out, down looking. That's a really frustrating call there. It's hard to say a lot of the times when they're close. That one was not even close. That almost grazed his pant leg, and he's called down looking on strikes. Nonetheless, we head to the top of the 8th. It's a 1-0 lead still for the FerryHawks. We return to action here. Top of the 8th inning. All 3 FerryHawks batters down on strikes.
FerryHawks have to hold on to this 1-0 lead for 2 more innings. They'll get 1 more shot to try and get some insurance runs. Something we failed to mention back in the top of the 7th, there's been a change in a catcher after Angelo DeCunto was hit by the pitch on the hand.
It's Rodani Baldwin behind the plate for the FerryHawks. The lead guy behind the plate takes his spot there. And we do wish that DeCunto is okay, as that one is lined to Mikey Edelman out in right field, who makes the catch for a fly-out 9. So 1 out so far, brings up a power bat in JC Encarnacion.
Encarnacion has been relatively quiet after his big night last night.
Now ahead 1-0 in the count off a pitch into the opposite box. And the deal. This one a bit too far inside for ball 2. Trying to find that zone. It's Bug still on the mound with someone warming up out there in the bullpen for both teams. 2-0 pitch. Gets away from Baldwin. Be ball 3. And they'll call that one a strike. Keeping this at-bat going for another pitch longer. Encarnacion has a batter's count at 3-1. We'll see if he takes the green light to swing. He'll check. And they'll say he didn't go from over at first base, so he'll take the walk across. Brings up number 14, Logan Brown, the catcher.
So now Lexington's got a guy on with 1 out. Got 2 more chances. Bottom of the 8th, bottom of the 9th, top of the 8th, top of the 9th. They got 2 chances to try and tie up this game. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Some speed over there at first base.
And here's the 1-0 deal. Outside for ball 2. 1 out, man on first. Counterclocks trying to dig their way out of this one.
Speed that I mentioned over there at first base, however, we've seen Encarnacion make some mistakes on the base pads today. He was thrown out at second. You know, we've seen him get a little cute over there, taking some big leads. It's got him into trouble.
Definitely has gotten ahead of himself sometimes, and it's as you said, it's led to some mistakes, being thrown out as he overran second base and then tried to run right back and couldn't do it in time off a great throw from Edelman and a great tag by Angel Aguilar earlier in this game. It's a 2-1 count now. Bug pitches, and that one is knocked foul.
God, scarred for life.
Above us. And Nick gets flustered every time a ball gets hit above the net, thinking about the one that almost hit him in the face.
You know what? It happens one time, you get over it. It happens 2 times. It's like, now it's like...
It's understandable. As that one chopped away foul.
Could have been danger if it was a strikeout on a wild pitch. Runner could have ran all the way over to first.
Oh, no, that is what they're calling. No. So it looks like it was a strike. It knocked into him after the swing was complete. And a stolen bag as well for Encarnacion. Hector Roa up. And the pitch to him.
Oof.
He fouls off himself. I'll take a walk out of the box after that one. Bug been doing some nice work there from the mound in relief for the FerryHawks. Beardsley going, as we said, 6 2/3. Bug picking up where he left off. And keeping this one scoreless so far. Encarnacion dancing with him in his eye as that one is popped high into the infield under it. And making the play is Davidson Romero for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th for the FerryHawks to add some more insurance to their lead. Rodani Baldwin with his first attempt of the game at the plate, filling in for Angelo DeConto, who, as we said, was hit by a pitch earlier on in the game. Took a walk to first before being replaced by the designated pinch runner, Jemison. So Baldwin has been behind the dish for the past few innings. Been doing pretty solid from behind there, now gets a chance in front of it. He's got 5 homers, 23 RBIs, a staple of this team. He looks at strike one, 254 batting average, OPS of 682 so far this year. And he shows off the power there, fouling that one off late down the third baseline. This one chopped, put into play over the head of the second baseman. He'll round into first for a base hit. Rodani Baldwin finds some success in his first at-bat. Brant Broussard can't get to that one as it drops right above him. And now we head to the top of the order. Hawks get lucky there, having a guy that usually hits cleanup, hitting in the 9-hole, and now bringing up the top of the order in Ricardo Cespedes, who is searching for that first hit tonight. And you know he's hungry for it, chasing it. We'll see if he gets it here.
This is a very, very similar situation to what we saw back in the bottom of the 6th. FerryHawks got the leadoff runner on. They were able to score runs. Was it Cespedes that drove in that run, but instead it was Brandon Q with an RBI double. We mentioned that that 3-man punch at the top of the order. We'll see if they can do some work here to give the FerryHawks some insurance. And, you know, another key thing that I mentioned, keeping the bullpen out of a high-leverage situation, give them a 2-3 run lead.
And a pickoff attempt, not in time to get Baldwin. And just a great spot to be in. No outs, 1 man on, top of the order. 1, 2, 3, all will have a chance to bat, barring a double play. And Cespedes with a bunt. The throw is not going to be in time. It gets past the second baseman, and rounding into second is Ricardo Cespedes. Ball is still loose in the infield. Now finally fielded. Baldwin finds his way over to third, and Cespedes in at second.
What do we say? Error on the catcher? No, yep.
Yeah, error off on the catcher. loses track of the ball on the bunt from Ricardo Cespedes, and then the throw to second with Josue Huma covering the base escapes his glove, which allows Baldwin to slide out of it, get to third, and Cespedes able to get to second. Now brings up Brandon Pugh. 2 runners in scoring position. No outs on the board, a clean slate for him. He's going to foul that one back into the netting.
Ball was all over the place.
Yeah, that was a very, very chaotic. Even the throw into the infield found its way into the green. One and 0 count to Brandon Pugh. That one gets past Brown. In comes Baldwin. There's another run for the FerryHawks. Make it 2-0. Cespedes advances to third. Baldwin scores off the wild pitch.
So Lexington's having a little bit of an issue with fielding this inning. Just a lot of self-inflicted mistakes. Obviously, they gave up the leadoff single, but after the leadoff single, everything's been self-inflicted. The error on the catcher that allowed Baldwin to advance to third and Cespedes to advance to second, and now, allowing Baldwin to score the wild pitch and Cespedes advancing to third with none out. And the FerryHawks haven't swung the bat well at all this inning. It's just been a lot of self-inflicted wounds for Lexington.
And the FerryHawks have had some great base running, great situational awareness. Baldwin puts the Jets on, able to get home, nice and clean. It's a 2-0 ball game now, late in the 8th inning. And that one is chopped right to first. And a smart play by Dillard as he eyes down Cespedes across the diamond. He'll just step on the bag at first, nice and easy for 1 out. And now Angel Aguilar, the third man in the top of the order, heads into the box.
And something we mentioned before, FerryHawks did a great job of putting the ball in play all throughout this game, and we said eventually the runs will come in the 6th and now in the 8th. Here are the runs. They have a chance to extend this lead even further with the last man in that 3-man punch, which, by the way, I might want to extend to a 4-man punch with Kevin Krause on deck. That ball is chopped over to third. The play will be made at first, but the run will score. So now it's a 3-0 FerryHawk lead.
Ricardo Cespedes finds his way home. Angel Aguilar understands the assignment, chops that one up into the infield with more than enough time for Cespedes to find his way home. It's a sacrifice ground out for Aguilar and a run scored for Ricardo Cespedes, bringing up Kevin Krause with 2 outs. Now it's a 3-0 game. Hawks lead.
So there's your insurance runs, and I believe it may be Pedro Payano warming up now in the bullpen.
As there is a strike. And another swing and a miss for Kevin Krause. Down 0-2 now, nice and early. And here's the deal. That one put into play, hit hard into right field. That one's gonna drop. Krause rounds first, heads for second, and he'll slide in there with plenty of time to spare. It's a double for Kevin Krause.
Your guy, Encarnacion, almost made the play out there in right field. You had the arm out. He was thinking about diving, but he was just a little too close to the corner, a little too close to the wall. Wasn't a great idea, so it's Kevin Krause looking out. A 2-out double with Garrett Cuber now on to hit with a runner in scoring position and 2 away. FerryHawks look to make it a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 9th. Giving Pedro Payano as much breathing room as possible.
And here's the deal. A swing and a miss by Garrett Cuber for strike 1. Kevin Krause, another runner in scoring position. Davidson Romero, who's hit the ball well so far this game, is on deck for him. But a 2-out situation now, 1 strike. Rocks that one out of the stadium. Foul. An 0-2 count now. Garrett Kuber trying to keep this inning going. A very, very, very solid outing here by the FerryHawks. Fantastic base running. And that one knocked into play. It's going to get past the third baseman. Rounding in is Kraus to throw home. Not in time. He'll slide in safe. It's a 4-0 FerryHawks lead and an RBI single from Garrett Kuber.
FerryHawks exploding here in the top of the 9th. It was a 1-0 ball game headed into this inning. The bats were real quiet. However, they've exploded now for 3 runs. And we're feeling good with a 4-0 lead now. Still 2 away, but a runner on first. It'll be Davidson Romero, the third baseman, trying to keep this top of the 9th alive for the FerryHawks.
4-0 lead for the home team now. And that one, he'll take upstairs for ball 1. Kuber on first. And that one he'll take well inside. Two-0 pitch. Another one. Good eye there by Romero. Not having to do too much at this at-bat. Just move out of the way of the pitches. It's 3-0 count.
Nobody up in the Lexington Counterclocks bullpen right now.
And that's 4 balls in a row. That'll send Davidson Romero to first base. And Kuber to second. And now Matt Winokur up to bat.
The catcher's going to want to talk to the pitcher here. We got an interesting situation. The pitcher really struggling here in the top of the 9th. However, there's no action in the Lexington Counterclocks bullpen. Further note, the pitching coach didn't even come on to talk to the pitcher. It was the catcher. So Lexington not looking to bring in anybody here. They're going to stick with who they got, and they're going to try to find their way out of this inning.
Yeah, it's a rough one for sure, but the Counterclocks have already taken this series win.
The
previous 2 days. And so they're content with what they have, and they will have 3 more outs to try and tie this one up, as unlikely as it may appear. And that one in for a strike.
FerryHawks do have a 4-0 lead, but anything can happen in baseball. So obviously, like you said, it's just smart management.
And a hard swing and a miss there by Winokur.
It all depends on the situation. Some games you play, some points in the season, some games you pitch, you manage to win every game. You manage to win that day, and you deal with the next day when the next day comes. Right now, you plan for the future.
And the Hawks absolutely playing for the home crowd here as that one fouled away hard. As they have lost the past 2 yesterday and on the 4th of July as well. Trying to salvage a win here before hosting a 3-game set across the weekend slate against the Charleston Dirty Birds. Oh, 2 to Winokur. And he will swing and miss that one to get him out of the inning, but not before 3 runs are able to score for the FerryHawks. It's a 4-0 lead heading into the top of the 9th. what could be the final frame of action here from Staten Island University Hospital Community Park here in St. George, Staten Island. The sun has fully set in New York City. The lights coming down on this beautiful ballpark. Williams Ramirez, the closer for the FerryHawks on the mound, number 22, here to take on what could be the final three batters of today's matchup. As this one is put into play, over to second and across to first for the first out. Broussard up to play for the Counterclocks. 1 out away already on a ground out from 4-3. And some gas there on the four-seamer, but just can't get it on the money.
Nice rhythm on the mound.
As the pitch, once again, a bit too far inside. A 3-0 count. And that one finds the strike zone. Strike one, a 3-1 count, hitter's count. We'll see if Broussard takes a swing at this one.
He will not.
He'll watch it fly by. Doesn't need to do much at that. He'll head over to first base for a base on balls.
Some baby shark here as the Counterclocks have a runner on with 1 away.
Huma at the plate. And the deal. Inside again.
If Huma can get on, or not even if he can get on, but after Huma, if he doesn't ground into a double play, it'll be Ronnie Dawson up to hit next, so we'll flip back to the top of the order. Pitch just missed. Ball 2.
Nice pitch there, decent frame by Baldwin, but the duck out of the way might have done it for the umpire. It was a close one right along the line. Here's the deal. And Ramirez just struggling to hold on to that ball and get it where it needs to go. He wants to pound the strike zone with that fastball, and that ball is going pretty fast, I will say. But he's just unable to get it over the plate right now, which has led to his second consecutive 3-0 count.
Certainly some control issues here. We'll see if he can find the zone on 3-0.
And he will not. That one's upstairs. So 2-men walk. As Baldwin and the pitching coach for the FerryHawks come to settle him down. In a 1-out situation, you don't want to give up anything crazy. 4 runs, it's more than enough support, but it's not an insurmountable task as we see some arms moving ahead in the bullpen just in case. So we'll head back to the top of the order here with Ronnie Dawson at the plate, number 12, the center fielder. He's got a man on first and second now. And a hard cut there. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
Maybe looking for the double play ball to get out of this game nice and easy. Easier said than done, though.
Ramirez, here's the deal. Goes off speed a bit too high. And a check swing.
Oh, boy.
Ball gets by Baldwin. Runners will advance to second and third. Ball gets right between his legs. So a 2-1 count now. Again, at the heart of the top of the order. It's Ronnie Dawson at the plate. Now runners both in scoring position. And all of a sudden, things get a little bit more tense here in the top of the ninth inning.
We mentioned the FerryHawks struggle to hold on to leads such as this one. They're 2 outs away.
And a hard cut once again on the fastball. Swing and a miss. A 2-2 count. Looking for the second out here in the ninth inning. Two-two pitch. Once again gets off the glove of Baldwin. But he's able to track that ball down off the wall behind him and ensure that no runs score off of third.
You know, we said it before, no 3 outs are easy in baseball, and certainly can attest to that this inning.
Dawson now in a full 3-2 count. Ramirez. Biggest throw of the night so far. With Owings on deck. Here's the pitch. And strike 3, Williams Ramirez. The second out of the inning. Holds the runners where they are, and now down to their final out, Lexington. Brings up Connor Owings, number 4, to face the Hawks closer. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Ramirez settles, deals, swing and a miss. Strike 1. The 1-1 deal. Another hard cut and another swing and another miss.
So Lexington's down to their final strike now. Didn't look pretty at points, but here we are, 1 strike away. Lexington taking a lot of big swings. We'll see if Owings is going to take yet another big swing here on 1 and 2.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Williams Ramirez gets him down, and the Hawks win 4-0. A massive win for Hawk City. They take 1 of 3 against the Counterclocks, and they head into this weekend against Charleston with a dub here at home. What a game, what a performance from the starting pitcher, Nick Beardsley, and then the rest of the bullpen. Ramirez, Bug, both doing their part for a big Hawks win.
I'll say this, probably the theme of this game wasn't pretty, but it doesn't always have to be. Especially we saw that with the starting pitching, with with Nick Beardsley, right? I mean, you know, great 6 2/3 innings of work, but, you know, if you remember, he had to work his way out of a lot of jams that he put himself in, and then the bullpen, they put themselves in a lot of jams too. We saw a jam here in the top of the ninth, but they found their way to work out of these jams. They worked through their issues, and even with the bats, right? They were putting the ball in the play. They couldn't score runs. They scored a run in the bottom of the 6th. They never looked back. They ended up scoring 3 more back in the bottom of the 8th, and in that bottom of the 8th, they score, you know, a lot of errors, and they were just smart base running, smart baseball, heads-up baseball, coming up in the big moments, and it was a team effort tonight, and that's a recipe for, you know, just a great win.
A fantastic win here at home in Hawk City, 4-0. The home team comes out with the W. Again, Charleston Dirty Birds heading to Staten Island for Friday, Saturday, Sunday set. An exciting weekend of baseball ahead and an exciting night. Joins here with Foster and myself. It's been a great night in the broadcast booth. We avoided a ball to the face. We saw a couple runs get scored, and we saw a full game shutout by the FerryHawks pitching staff. So a great day here in Hawk City at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park here in St. George, Staten Island, overlooking that lower Manhattan skyline in a bit of a haze now as night falls. But that'll do it here from the booth. My name has been Robert Russo. I've been joined by Nick Foster, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Have a great night.